So hello, good morning. Just in starting, I will just go with the what actually the prompt is. Prompt is, if you see, it's nothing. Just it is a text. As we human talk to each other. So what we do,
Mm,
we say something, and the person in front of us with whom we are communicating understands. So the mode is the language in which I am speaking. For example, if I am speaking in English and the person in front of me is not aware of this language and is not so much fluent or good in this language, will not be able to understand, right? So there is a need to speak in such a way that the person in front of me should be able to understand what actually I want to convey. So the language should be such a clear and specific to what I want to convey. In the same manner, what used to happen earlier, that we had some code we used to push to the machine, and machine used to act accordingly. So we had a specific and we have a very defined way of communicating with the machine. We had a code, and that computer or a machine knows that how to interpret that code. But when it comes to the prompt, everyone has its own way to put their details and put their question or queries. So the designing of your query becomes more important here. That means the way I'm speaking, because the way I'm asking a question can be different than what you are asking to the computer. We say for the same question. For example, if I am asking, let's start with the introduction. In the starting of the session, I'm putting this statement. Let's just start with the introduction. Now the questions are many, that it's not a clear instruction from my side, because let's start with the introduction of mine, or let's start the introduction of yours, or let's start with the introduction of the chapter or course. So just asking that let's start with the introduction is not at all a good prompt from my side to the session or to the class. In the same way, it becomes very much important to understand that how we put the question, so that machine say, okay, fine, this is your question and I have understood it very nicely. That part is actually the engineering. Prompt is just a text which need to be crafted or drafted in such a way that the machine should understand it. For example, I want to ask a machine to, or a GPT, to give me an article or provide me an article on India. Now, India is a very vast topic. This is not going to give a clear instruction to the machine that what actually about the India you want to know. Just asking that, write an article on India, is not at all a clear instruction. Instead, we should ask, like, write an article on India in 3000 words. Now, I'm specific one more point here, that my article should be in 3000 words. I can keep on adding the instruction. I want to have the historical background of India. Now I'm asking that I just want the historical background of India or history of the India. I'm specifying one by one. Now I have written two statements here, and if we see that I'm using a word of approx 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, about 20 words I'm using it here, this is you. But this 20 words also counts when we go for the prompting. Means my prompt should not be like a paragraph, it should be concise, specific. So I can add this historical point within that first statement also. Write a history of India in 3000 words. And that would be more precise and that small prompt. So this all things will come under the engineering from the user side. It's important to remember that prompt is not only what you are putting. There are system prompt, user prompt, and assistant prompt. System prompt is what the engineers are adding in the backend to control how the bot will react with you. User prompt is what you are adding as in the form of query. An assistant prompt is not available for all the bots, but few bots are providing you to add some specific instructions from your side as well, apart from the query. We will see all these during the sessions. So these three type of prompts are there while you are interacting with any the transformer model or any GPTs. So prompt
Upendra, the
engineering,
example of Indian history, what you have mentioned, is a user prompt, right?
yes, it is a user prompt.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So prompt engineering is a whole, like prompt engineering is the process of designing and refining the input text known as prompt, and that is given to the AI language and model to generate the desired response. Now, as I told, we have system, assistant, and user. Now, system prompt is very much specific and filtered way. This is mostly used to filter or restrict or guide the bot to behave in a specific manner. If any commands comes, which is, for example, in system prompt, it is written that you are a healthcare bot, and the language which you should use should be like a healthcare professional. Now, if a user is putting that you are a finance advisor, the bot or GPT is not going to override the system prompt. So system prompts are designed as well as instructed in such a way that none of the user prompts should override the system prompt. So these things we have to take care when we are designing the prompts or when we are going to the engineering prompt engineering. Now, what we need to get started is very simple, that we should know basic about the Python, that how we are handling the there is no much hi-fi language, hi-fi Python is required here. But yes, we should have the basic knowledge of Python and how to handle these IDs where we can work. Means if we are going for the dealing with the bot designing and prompt engineering from the backend side. But if we are not dealing with that, there is no need of anything. Just we need an internet connection and how we to interact with the GPTs. But if we are going to design it, that time we need that little bit knowledge about the Python as well as the Visual Studio codes. Now, what we can do with the prompt engineering? We can do the article writing, storytelling, FAQs, most of the time the GPTs now are getting used to control the customer interactions or to get the uh, answers to the customers. For example, not only from the user side, many times the company's internal team also use the GPT to get the answers and assist the customers. For example, I we had some about 60-page policies in our uh, that company in one PDF, and like that we have some about 10 PDFs or 20 PDFs or 30 PDFs in our uh, database. Now, if somebody asks this, it's not possible to remember each and every policy. It's not possible for everyone to remember that where I will find which detail of the policy. So this GPT will assist in that. You have to put one question, it will analyze the whole the 30 or 60 uh, pages or whatever page you have in the PDF or in the all the PDFs. It will check, it will reframe, and then it will give the answer. Now the question is that why actually this new GPT is needed, because earlier we had a machine learning models, we had a deep learning models and NLPs, all those things means we would have used that. The reason is those earlier classical models and all are not transformers, they are not generative. So now the this new GPT era has that capability to generate the answer from the input. So generating has helped a lot in the writing articles, or if you say that story, like create a short story about a young adventure business, like that we can create storytellings also, we can do FAQs or troubleshooting we can have. If we have some reports we can summarize, because it has the capability to generate the new things. So this generative power has assisted a lot in the new era of this AI. Now, what are things in sectors we can prompt engine can help in a healthcare? Summarizing the patient notes or like generating the patient advices. Not only that, understanding and analyzing the images of the X-rays and all those things, healthcare images, analyzing the ECGs, graphs, and all those things. AI can help. So this image processing also now has come out in this new AI era. So in the same way, finance, if we have the market trends, we want to analyze the market trend, and that it can assist a lot. In the same way, the risk assessment also in the finance sector. Now, for example, earlier we had a huge database to check the. You have to write the code of some thousand lines to know that either the patient that person will churn or not. Now there is a just put the data of the person, and you have the trained model of the transformer, it will give you full report of that, what all things you can do to avoid this, what all things but this person can do in future, and that all is dependent on the data it has been trained. It is not that GPT is something new, is finding something, mis- learning something new. It is the data which you have provided, from that only it will learn. Only thing is that GPT has capability to generate something new. It is not doing some out of the world thing, but yes, it is creating the new things from the things which we have given to the system machine. Same way in the educational sector, lesson plan development or student feedbacks, like legal has the contract analysis and marketing has social media contents creating our market research. These things you can create means it earlier it used to take the time a lot of time, full day it used to take to create one advertisement panel or a banner or something, or contents of the banner. Now GPT will provide you in within 1 or 2 minutes, you will get 50 or 60 samples. You have to select one which one you feel good and move on. So it is going to help in that way. But with that, no, we have faced a lot of challenges also, because if something has a power to generate, that can generate something which is not at all advisable. So we have some challenges here, like ambiguity in the prompts. Like we have the very poor structured prompt, what will happen? It will generate something which you don't need, because your prompt is not clear and specific. And if it is not so much, then it is going to create something which it is going to provide you something which you don't want actually, because machine is just interpreting something which you don't want it to interpret. So if the solution is just that your prompt should be clear, specific, and concise. In the same manner, I told you earlier that it is not learning something, it is not getting something new. It is only providing or generating the new content from the provided data. So if the GPT has been given data of something biased one, like if you say that like gender bias, you can say sometimes the data about some country, if male data is more than the female data, and if the question is asked to the GPT, it will obviously divert its answer to the male one. Few cases which happened last few months with the companies, that the GPT has become biased in the HR system. Means AI has become biased towards the while that for filtering the that resumes. Why? Because in the resume, when the data was trained, it was there that male candidates were more there in that system. Male candidates were had a very less restrictions or very less filters in their resumes. They don't have restriction of the location and all those things. So GPT became biased towards the male candidates rather than going towards the female, and they were filtering out only the male candidates resume. So that system AI can go bias if the prompts are not thoroughly defined to tell that you need to take care of these matters, or you need to avoid these type of things, or the data the provided while the training of the that GPT, or data provided to the GPT is not in a biased form, it's totally balanced one. So this bias can be a very good big challenge when you are dealing with some uh, class based data. If one class data is more than the other class, the GPT will generate the content of the higher classes more than the lower class. Same way the control is of output control, that it can be difficult to predict. Means if you are putting the prompt, you are even not aware that what output will come out, in what manner it will come out, if your prompt is not that much clear. And even your prompt is very much clear, concise also, means you don't know that what all data will come out in that. However, if your prompt is concise and clear, the data will come from that sector only. But what data will come, that is not in your control. So sometimes what happens when you are dealing with the prompt engineering, and you are means you are dealing with the interaction with the GPT, you have to ask the GPT again and again by modifying your prompt, and you have to check that which prompt is giving you the best answer. Many times what the people do, they will save those prompts which is giving you the best answer, and in a separate notebook or somewhere, so that next time if they want the same answer, they will ask the they'll put the same prompt, because it is not in our control that how your uh, that bot is going to react on your prompt or a query. So exact output is not at all predictable. So that is the one more challenge. Apart of that, scalability is also one more challenge. Means how to we can miss adaptable how to we have to do create the adaptable prompts, means that can customize specific application. For example, as I told regarding the healthcare or finance or something, we have to specify, we have to scale it, that how the prompt should interact after this. We have to customize. For example, I want all the answers in the form of what we say that healthcare terminologies and all those things. So we have to be clear about those things, that how the bot should interact, how the language should be of the bot, and how the bot should be answered either in the long form, short form, summarized form, and all those things. So as per the use case which we have, or as per the requirement we have to scale that our that or we can say that we have to change our prompt as per the requirement which we had. Now, just before going for this demo, I'm just going to go one very brief. I will just show you the demo that how the we can interact with the bot and all. Before that, we'll just I will want to say that we had the ML, DL, NLPs in our with that what you say that previous AI tools and all we had. These all are working as a predictive, and now the new things which arise that of GPT, and it is like it is a generative. Now we had in the GPT, chat GPT, we have Gemini from the Google, and Copilot from the Microsoft Bing, you can say. Chat GPT, the free version, is not accessing the internet. It is working only based on the data provided to it while training. And that data is, if I'm not wrong, is October 2023 till that. Now current GPT, which is free version available, is only providing the answers which was available on which was from the available contents till October 2023 on the internet. After that, if some changes might have happened, the GPT is not going to give you correct answer about that. Sometimes it may hallucinate also, or it may start providing you answer which is not at all uh, correct. So this is not a real-time interaction. It's not interacting. While the Gemini, which is of the Google, as the Google has its own search engine, it is collecting the data real time as well. So this Copilot is also from Microsoft Bing. So this is also interacting some real time. So Copilot and Gemini is using the training data as well as the currently available what to say that currently available internet resources also. So if you want to, like for example, summarize this website, any website summary you want, in that case you can use the Gemini and Copilot to summarize the things because they are interacting with the internet. But the same thing if you will ask the chat GPT, a free version of that, however paid version, you can have the interaction with the internet real time, but in the free version this is not available. So training data is everywhere. Only thing is that Gemini and Copilot is you can have the real time answers, while the chat GPT does not have that much what we say the current data is available. And that's why ChatGPT mostly works good because it has a predefined training data. But in case of Gemini and Copilot, the answers are getting deviated with the current data available. So if somebody has kept some update, you may not get the same answer what you are getting from the ChatGPT. So it is using so many times you will feel that ChatGPT is giving very much precise and formatted answer rather than case of Gemini and Copilot. And many times we feel that Gemini and Copilot is giving very much accurate and current data compared to the ChatGPT. So these three are there. You can just play with these three and just check that which one you feel is better. So these three are only allowing you, the free versions are allowing you to interact as a user prompt. You are not you are not allowed to interfere with their system prompt. So they had a backend with the system prompts and all. We will see that how their system prompt is restricting our that user prompts interactions and all. For now, you can just play with this. We'll just see one demo now. Oh, sorry. Yeah. See, so I'm just asking, write an essay on India. Now you see. So now I have looked at it's developing the power. Also, I have asked. Now you see, it will write an essay, the full whatever regarding the development of India and all. It is aware. It will write all those things. So it's starting from 1990s. Now it has started and it's moving now. So this whole article it will provide you challenges and at last the conclusion in the form of good article format it has given. Now Now I don't want this big article. So one more thing that ChatGPT good thing is that it is going to remember your previous conversation. So I will just summarize it into 100 words. I didn't specify the topics and all, but it remembers that okay about what I am asking to summarize, uh, about what I am asking and what it has to summarize. So it has just summarized it. Now next we'll just say generate an image. Now image processing has is available in a free version of the chat gpt, but it is only for two or three means few interactions only. After that it will say that you have completed the quota of free that. However, content creations and all is unlimited, but image generations msgpt 4.0 it has restricted for the free use for unlimited one. Now I have to generate an image of a lion sitting with a deer. It has generated. Now I want to modify this prompt. If I want to modify it, I can keep adding modifications in it. But I don't know, as I told that we have the challenge that I don't know what output will come out. I have added add liners in it. It will add or not, that is not in my hand, because sometimes what will happen, the bot cannot interpret what actually I want to say. So output is not exactly in our hand. Now you see, liners was not added in that image. And with that, the reason might be that I have completed the GPT-4 quota. So image generation is not now allowed to me. Means free versions has the limited only one or two images you can generate. After that, it will not generate images. Means it will not. It will go to 3.5 version. So this was just a simple demo of how to generate the image or write the article. Now, if I want to go specific like a healthcare sector, so I will just means I can just ask that to write the like treatment or any diagnostic things we can just take it out, like what is the best treatment we can ask like that. So we have to specify and it will give you the proper answer. What is just what the hypertension. Now hypertension, the blood pressure. So now I'm putting condition also that hypertension with chronic kidney disease. So if I'm asking with that, now it is going to combine and give you the best treatment what is available from the internet, because GPT is working on the pre-trained data which it has. So it is giving you a specific and properly framed answer that what lifestyle modification should be there, what medication should be taken, and everything it will provide you. So GPT is working in all the sectors, means in whatever manner you want to use it. Only thing is that the way you interact, that you have to decide that how you should interact to as per your requirement to get the best answer from the GPT. Right? So this is a simple small demo of this. So with this we'll just go for the summary that prompt is nothing just a text. Engineering is drafting of that text, how to draft it, how to craft it, so that machine should be able to understand. And whatever sector we are interacting, we have to draft and craft as per the requirements, as per the use case which we have. So in the whole session, we are going to see that from the drafting and crafting of the prompt to how to hyper tune the parameters like how we can decide that which all parameter, what size of the article, the data we need to answer. For example, we have 50 documents and I want to use only the top 10 to generate my answer. So that also top articles what I want to drag it out, that also we can control. We can control the randomness of the answers, we can control the length of the answer. All those things we will see while doing the sessions and all. So for now, you can just go and play with the GPTs, Gemini or Copilot, and see that which one is much better. So for today's session, we will have this only.
So, Atindra, I have one question. So,
Yes,
what
please.
I understood was that in the prompts are basic English
Yes,
sentences with with specificity. When I say specificity, so I need to ask like I want to talk to Atendra Jha from Visualpath who lives in Bangalore, like that. This is a prompt, right?
yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So it has nothing technical in it. That's what I am able to understand.
Yes, while interacting with the GPT as a user, nothing technical in it, no codings, nothing is required.
Okay. And what
So
about
when you
system
are,
prompt? Is it a
yeah, when you are
code
doing
or
this,
is it
the system prompt is also text only. Only thing is that
okay?
is tuning of the hyperparameter is required. So in that system prompt, where to put the system prompt, where to add the system prompt, that is actually a little bit technical, but it is not a very high technical thing.
Okay. So the system prompts are also kind of plain English only, right?
Yes, exactly.
There is no
It's plain
syntax or
English only.
anything in that.
No, no, nothing coding syntax and all. It's a plain English
Okay.
only system prompt also.
Okay. Okay. It's just about how you tune it, how you place it in the
Yes,
code, or how you place it in the. I'm not aware about how things are developed internally, but I think it will be like the plain English sentence where and how you place it at the right position in the code or
yes,
something like that.
exactly.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. So, if anyone asks me that write a prompt for content creation, okay, or
Okay.
write a prompt for a business case or something like that, I should understand they are asking me to write a plain English sentence with specific information. I think that's
Yes,
the
exactly.
correct understanding. Okay. Okay, okay, understood. Thanks, Satindra. Actually, I was confused that I from the external sources from where I got this information on prompt engineering. Everyone was speaking about the same thing. I was confused that whether I'm learning something wrong or what, because everywhere it was plain English. So it
Yes, it's
it was
plain English
very,
only.
yeah. So somehow I feel that if you want to excel in prompt engineering, you need to have a very good command on English language. Then only you will
A
be
good
very crisp
command,
and
yes.
yeah,
Conversational English you should have.
conversational English. Right, right. Yeah, even if you are not grammatically correct, but conversational
Yes,
English should be right. Yes.
yes, exactly. Means you,
Yeah.
in your prompt, whatever you want, all those specific requirements should be placed.
Yes. So there shouldn't be any definition of a very good prompt or like that, right? Of course, there is a definition of a bad prompt if it is very simple. But if specificity has no boundaries, like, right? So
Yes,
I cannot
exactly.
say that this prompt is a very good prompt and this prompt is not that good prompt, because specificity is depends on requirement and
Yeah,
yeah, so
exactly.
this is
We
fine.
can we can have the better prompt, but we can't define the best prompt.
Yes. Okay, understood. Yeah. So actually, thank you, Atendra. Actually, this is a very eye-opening session for me. I went through almost 8 to 9 videos on prompt engineering, which are available on YouTube and other platforms. So this was my doubt that how can I, whether it is just plain English and how can I make a best prompt. So best prompt doesn't have a boundary. That's what I understood. And whatever your creative mind can think of can become a best prompt. Okay, so
Yes,
that is a very
exactly.
good example. Okay, thank you, Atend. I just want to share my one experience which I had yesterday. Although there is no, we have only three people. That too, I think Jaswant has joined from two numbers or what. So we have. I want to tell something. There was a question asked in KBC yesterday about Elizabeth II visiting to a Kamal Hassan's movie set. I tried to search it on Llama Meta AI. It on the first question they replied that they unfortunately the Meta AI doesn't have the answer. As soon as I added the year in it, it
Uh-huh.
replied with the correct answer. So I
Yes,
understood that could be because of the prompt which I have given. So
yes, exactly.
this
What
make
happened when you ask, no, like Elizabeth, just you have asked, and Kamal Hassan, right? So for the
yeah
machine, these two are the key terms. So what machine
yeah
has done? Machine has searched this data, but your question was that visit. Now, specific Kamal Hassan and Elizabeth visit was not written particularly in any data, so it was confused and it didn't give you the answer. But when you specified the year now, so then it found that okay, this visit is in this year. Now year is matching with the visit, and visit is of the Kamal Hassan and the Elizabeth. So it's all prompt when you're putting the more specific data now, that top 10 or top 50, whatever Meta AI has decided that to generate the answer, in that the answer should come out. If it is not in that answer, what will not answer you? So it's all a specific way you are asking the question. The more specific you are, the more correct and more prompt that specific answer you will get.